Joining me now, one of my favorite guests out there, Jaco Booyens of the Falkirk Center and the CEO of After Eden Pictures. Jaco, I've got a professional basketball player and his actress wife traipsing along on the red carpet out there with their transgender 7-year-old. And man, I've got to tell you, I need someone to explain to me when we officially just made child abuse just not only the norm, we celebrate it now.
First off, thanks for having me on. Always, you guys do amazing work. Love your energy. Look, we have lost our minds in this country. We have drifted so far from having a moral compass. You know, the family fabric is what America is all about. Everything we fight for in this country, our Constitution, everything that we fight for is about family and the family fabric. And when we start questioning, you know, and gender and putting these pressures on these young boys, it is child abuse. It's 100% child abuse. No child should be posted with the question of, are you a boy or are you a girl? And definitely not having a parent nudging that child in a particular direction, as we saw with the Smith family. That happened with, you know, Will Smith and his family, and now you're seeing it with Dwayne and some of these other celebrities, Celine Dion with a gender-neutral clothing line. It's insanity. I believe we're looking at a society that's looking for purpose, and they're playing house with their children. They're playing dolls.
Jaco, how did this happen so quickly? I guess I mean, look, if 5 years ago, I got in a bad car wreck and went into a coma, and I woke up today and I saw this, I would think that I had fast forwarded 2,000 years. I feel like it happened like this with the whole kids transgender thing. How did that happen so quick?
Man, I'm glad you're asking this question, and I want to give you a timeline of this thing. In the 1960s, we embraced sexual immorality in this country, and so that wheel started. It's like getting a train moving, right? It's slow at first. Then you start asking the question, what is marriage? Is marriage a man and a woman? Should we have prayer in schools? Then you start asking the question about how many genders are there? When we reach that point, it's over. You have crossed the precipice of the mountain. You're downhill skiing at this point. It will rapidly descend. You know, this is why we're looking at what's happening in the late-term abortion movement, and now in the gender fluid movement, and now starting to ask 4-year-old boys, are you a boy or a girl? Are you sure? Starting planting those seeds. It's because it's been coming for a long time, Jesse. It feels quick, but it's been coming since the 60s. We're just paying for it now, but we've crossed the threshold, and now it's downhill skiing all the way.
Jaco, I understand this may be a dark answer. It may be depressing, but I want you to give me complete honesty. Can it be reversed? Can we change it? Or are we just, I mean, that's what we are now. Crazy.
No, God help us if we can't. I mean, yes, we can. There's always a way to redeem, right? But it comes back to men. Because also something I left out in that link is emasculating men, right? So somewhere in there, to get a society to do this, to get a society to embrace this kind of a thought pattern, right? You would have to have men believe that it's not okay to be a man. It's not okay to like manly things. Now, how someone wants to affiliate and live their lifestyle is one thing, but starting to ask questions about how many genders are there and should a man be allowed to be a man, and poisoning guys with toxic masculinity, and just by being a guy, you're evil. These are the mechanisms that's been used over time, though, to get us to this point where now you can just nudge. We're at the edge of the building. So yes, I believe you can turn it around, but it's going to come back to the man, the individual saying, whoa, enough is enough, okay? I'm not going to apologize for being a man, nor should a woman apologize for being a woman, right? And I'm going to take some ownership back. I'm going to hold myself accountable as a father and not jump on this gravy train of popularity. Here's Dwayne, right? Here's an NBA superstar, Hall of Famer, no question, right? What does he need more? The man is so broken, he's so empty inside that he's literally using his son, his child, as a tool for attention. It's despicable.
It is despicable. And I'll tell you, believe me, I'm the furthest thing in the world from husband or father of the year, but I cannot imagine my 7-year-old being so mixed up that they even wanted to change their gender, for one, and two, if they did, that I wouldn't just sit down and talk to them. 7-year-olds change their minds in 5 minutes with a little guidance. When did we just hand over parenting to the insane leftists in this country?
Well, no. Now all of a sudden, a 7-year-old knows what's best for him. A 7-year-old knows what gender he is or can choose and not choose. Next thing they're going to tell us, we need to have a president that's 16 years old. Like we see with Greta running around the world telling us how to treat the planet. It's insanity. But they want dysfunction. You got to understand, this is systematic and it's systemic. It's not like this just happened. It's a plan. It's a planned attack on the moral fiber and the fabric of what is America, what sets us apart from any other nation around the world, which is still small government, which the home, then local government, then state government. They don't want that. They want a dysfunctional, broken society so that one day, soon, they hope, government swoops in on the white horse and go, now you really need us because you're so messed up. I mean, having 7-year-olds make these decisions is insane. I'm one that I don't know that 18-year-olds are even ready to vote because they don't even know what they're voting for, right? We have a very informed culture, right? But it's very shallow. It's shallow thinking. There's no deep thinking. There's no consequence in their lives. They don't think about the consequence of having a discussion with a son that's 7 years old. What's going to happen to this guy when he's 16, 17, 18, and he looks back and go, hey, Dad, I kind of didn't have a choice. You made me do this. Have they thought about that? Oh. What that's going to do to culture?
Jaco, now I admit fully that I'm a bit of an extremist when it comes to this. When it comes to government schools, I am anti any kind of government schools. If I had my way, I would completely eliminate the public school system. I know that sounds crazy, but that's what I believe.
Me too.
But then I see these stories like I see right now in Washington State, a bill that looks like it's going to be a go, where they're mandating sex education for kindergartners, man. And I have to tell you, it's not changing my mind on government schools.
And let me tell you why. Again, they want to talk to your child about sex because they're deathly afraid that you may just instill proper values, proper moral conduct, proper safe space with your child. But your child actually, again, believes that abstinence is actually an amazing tool. They don't want you to be talking to your child about that. Do you know that the CSE curriculum, the Comprehensive Sex Ed curriculum, funded 100% by Planned Parenthood, by the way, is taught in 29 states in the United States in public schools? This curriculum is for 10-year-old boys. In Chapter 7 of this curriculum, they ask a 10-year-old boy a question. This is how you corrupt a mind. You post questions. The question is, does anal sex hurt? This 10-year-old boy has never even thought of anal sex. Ever. Now, they plant that seed. Now, he goes and gets free porn on the internet and they move him. It is a program to move culture so far left that we have radical dysfunction because they know this is going to result in dysfunction. There's no way they don't think that if you have a generation of 7-year-old boys that all of a sudden just are gender fluid, that they're not going to be dysfunctional when they're 21 years old. They're going to be highly dysfunctional, and then they're going to have to depend on what? Government.
Hey, thanks so much for watching the first on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.